أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم 2 فكذبوهما فعززنا ب3 فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون صدق الله العظيم.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. I was asked to say some words to introduce Sheikh Imam Fode Drame, to you, our guests, our friends, and family. And I'm going to do my best to be concise, inshallah ta'ala. But if I'm not, then please forgive me, because I think that some of the things I want to share with you are very important in our tradition, in the classical Islamic scholastic tradition. There's prime importance placed on knowing the sources from which you receive your knowledge. And this is why scholars are stress the importance of authoring a text and putting your name on the text. And even if a book is written that has sound content, if the author is not known, that causes some concern. But inshallah ta'ala, I want to share some things with you about our dear beloved Imam, who I'm honored to introduce to you. Imam Fode his actual name is Fode Drame. His title is Imam Fode, and I'll start with that. Fode is a West African, it's a term used by the Jahanke people, by the Fulani people, and the Hausa people. It takes different terms. Fode, Fuduye, Fodio. And this term is given to a scholar who has reached the highest levels of scholarship in our tradition of West African Islam. The Fode is a person who's a master of Quranic commentary. You don't receive this title until other scholars have attested to your mastery of the sciences of commenting on the Quran. And those of you who are familiar with the tradition with the Islamic scholastic tradition know that Tafsir is usually the last subject you study. After you studied Arabic grammar and verb conjugation and eloquence and logic and hadith and history and all the different ulum and ala and at-tawheed and all these different subjects, fiqh and usul, then finally at the end, once you've been prepared with all these prerequisite knowledges, you get to tafsir. And such is the case in Senegambia, where Imam Fode Drame is from. He's a member of the Jahanke nation. The Jahanke people are an ancient people. Their origin goes all the way back to ancient Egypt, and still today in the Jahanke language, you will find traces and remnants of ancient Egyptian in their language. Their customs and rituals, many of them are connected with the tradition that has come through the most ancient of peoples, and they're known for spreading Islam throughout West Africa in particular. They have unbroken chains of transmission of knowledge that we can verify historically. They go back over 1,000 years, 1,100 years to be exact. And so this tradition has been passed down from parents to children, and from the young to the old for centuries. And what you're hearing from Imam Fode today, in part, is from his own embodiment and his own internalization of this ancient river of Islamic knowledge, of theological, jurisprudential, and spiritual knowledge that has been flowing in amongst the Jahanke people. The Imam Fode is a spiritual and intellectual descendant of the great Haj Salim Suare, who lived around the 12th century, who was Jahanke as well. And the Jahanke are a collection of families, more so, that have a particular approach to knowledge and to practicing and spreading Islam that has been very successful for centuries. As I said, much of Africa, West Africa in particular, is Muslim today because of Imam Fode's people. And this approach was summarized in what is known as the Suwarian tradition. Haj Salim Suare was a scholar who, again, embodied a tradition that existed before him, but he codified it. And there's 7 points to this tradition. I won't go into all of them, but I would say that they boil down to 2, maybe 3 things. Number 1 is that Had Salim taught that people who are not Muslim are ignorant, not evil. Number 2, that it's the responsibility of the Muslim to cultivate learning and piety, so that when those who are not Muslim embrace Islam, they will know how to behave. They will know how to conduct themselves. They will know the proper comportment and deportment as a Muslim. Had Salim Suare was an absolutely staunch in focusing on Muslims, focusing on education and taqwa of Allah Ta'ala, as opposed to active proselytization, active da'wah. The way the Jahanke people and Imam Fode today in Vancouver, Canada, where he lives, the way that they engage the wider society is through education. Literacy was spread by the Jahanke among Muslim and non-Muslims. They would literally open up schools in predominantly non-Muslim villages and towns and cities, and they would teach everybody. Right? The same way the Catholic schools have become known for quality education, Jahanke schools were known for having the highest standards of education. And so they spread Islam through a massive literacy campaign. The second thing that they did was they would heal the people. And to become a Fode, you must not only know the traditional scholastic sciences, you must also know something from herbal medicine and prophetic medicine and tib. And Imam Fode also embodies that tradition, and he's a healer among many other things. And then the Jahanke people were also known for their service to the wider society in terms of feeding the people. They would often have farms and agricultural establishments in their schools. So they would teach people, they would heal people, and they would feed people. And this is their model in essence. Imam Fode is not just a scholar who, as I think you've seen, is a scholar who's original and inspired in his thinking. I've seen a sneak peek of his Tafsir of Surah Ya-Sin in the actual Arabic, and when I first read it, I was amazed that he's not rehashing what scholars before him have related. He comes from the Quran, he comes from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and as he said before the break for Dhuhr, he makes sure that his tafsir is grounded within the Quran itself. He does not take from other sources, and I think the inspiration that he gives is refreshing, and it challenges us to be more rigorous in our understanding of the Book of Allah from the Book of Allah Ta'ala. Imam Fode, I don't know if he wants me to say this, but I'll say it anyway. I'll apologize later. I was blessed to visit his home, and he has about at least 100 books that he's written himself. He's an amazing scholar. I've never met anyone face-to-face in the flesh who's as prolific a writer as him. And he's not just an imam who leads prayers. He is a rigorous scholar who writes books on subjects ranging from tafsir to ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. He knows 10 languages, to the male and the female, the masculine and the feminine principles, to the nature of time and space. He has a book called Risalatul Dahr, a treatise on time itself. So he has a very wide vision, which should be expected, because his mashrab, his place of drinking, is the Book of Allah. And there's no limits to the knowledge that comes from the Book of Allah Ta'ala. He's not just a scholar, but he's an imam. He leads Salatul Jumu'ah in Vancouver. He teaches people every week. He's very accessible to the people in his community. He's very active in interfaith activities in Canada. And Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, Jews all look to him as a resource for sound knowledge of Islam. He is a husband, a father. He's a family man, and mashallah, he. If you spend a little time with him, what's impressed me most about him in the time that I've known him and studied with him is his character. His knowledge is very impressive. His books are very impressive. I have some that I have with me, but most of them we sold over the last 2 days. I apologize. But if you see me later on during the breaks, I can let you know where to get his 5 published books, as well as his translation of the entire Quran into English. The thing that impressed me more than all of that is how he treats the people around him. And when I visited him in Vancouver, I watched him interact with young children as well as elders. I watched him interact with people who have PhDs and people who maybe they have a high school education, people who had mental health problems. He treats everyone, I saw him treat everyone with love and respect. And he treated everyone with the same love and respect. You couldn't tell who he loved the most. And this is something that the companions would say about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Each Sahabi, each companion believed they were the most beloved to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I never seen that in my life until I had the blessing of visiting Imam Fode. And those of you who've studied there, like Abbas and others, I think you can attest to that, Sheikh Muhsin. So alhamdulillah. I will close my mouth. Forgive me for being long, but I just really want you all to understand who's sitting before you. The Imam is very humble and very down to earth, and but I just want to give you a glimpse of what's hidden under the ocean. You know, you can go to a large ocean and you see the waves on top, and but you don't realize how deep, the ocean is. So we're sitting in front of a deep ocean that has many layers and many levels. So I encourage you to pray for him and pray for his wife and his children and for his community in Vancouver, that Allah protect them all and him, and protect his knowledge, and that Allah Ta'ala preserve his knowledge and his legacy till the Day of Judgment. Alhamdulillah.
الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى. Inshallah, I was given a very pleasant reminder. Somebody noted that the 2 verses we compared in Qasas and Ya-Sin actually have the same number also. Verse 20 of Ya-Sin and verse 20 of Qasas. Barakallah. Few people have noticed that they had both verses, just to kind of reinforce the idea of the similarity between the 2 stories and the 2 verses. So we continue with the Qissa. So we quoted verses from Ya-Sin and verses from Araf, and also from Qasas, and from Ya-Sin as well. So those comparisons leave no doubt for me that the subject matter of both stories is the same, and that it was Sayyidina Musa who was talked about in Ya-Sin as the messengers, him and Sayyidina Harun, along with the 3rd person that we're going to talk about now. believe that the third messenger or the third person who was sent also to be a reinforcement for them is an angel. It's an angel, so it's not an angel probably who's appeared, who is in a human form, like Jibril used to come in a human form, as we know from the stories of the Prophet ﷺ. So often Allah will send angels to be helpers to the messengers in their missions. And Allah says, "Inna Allah yustafi min al-malaikati rusulan wa min al-nas," that Allah chooses messengers from among angels and from among human beings. So the third person that is spoken of here in verse 15 of Ya-Sin, verse 14, إذا أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون. So when we send two to them, two messengers, and we strengthen them with a third messenger. So I believe the third messenger is an angel, and angel Gabriel was the third one who they are supported, enforced with. And we'll see, we'll see something similar to that, compare that with another ayah in Surah Taha, in which Jibril is referred to as the messenger, and his name is not mentioned. So let's turn pages to Taha. It was in the, of course, Taha is the story of Sayyidina Musa from beginning to end, apart from Sayyidina Adam mentioned at the end of the surah. In verse 96 of Taha, where Sayyidina Musa, after he went to meet God and they worshipped the calf behind him. So he came back and he was speaking with Samiri. قال فما خطبك يا سامري. Samiri was the one who designed the calf and fashioned it. So he said, Samiri, what is the matter with you? He answered, قال بصرت بما لم يبصروا به. He said, I saw what they did not see. فقبضت قبضة من أثر الرسول فنبذتها وكذلك سولت لي نفسي. And Mufassirin, of course, most of them say that the Rasul here was Jibril. So when Jibril came to the camp of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, somehow Allah, as a test for Samiri, Allah removed the veil for him. That was the catch for him, during which he saw Jibril passing by, coming to Sayyidina Musa, and he took the sand from where Jibril's horse he was sitting on, the Buraq, has touched, wherever it stepped on the earth. He took that sand, because knowing that Jibril is a ruh, and everything that comes into contact with ruh also takes on some quantity of life in it. So he has that idea, Shaitan whisper in his mind. So that's the sand that he took from the ground, and then he put that in the mouth of the calf, and the calf began to make a noise. So the messenger, the word messenger, Rasul here, is referring to Jibril. That's what has convinced me that the Rasul, the third messenger also in the story of Sayyidina Musa and Sayyidina Harun and Ya-Sin, also is Jibril. So فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ. So they were reinforced by an angel to be with them and help them in their mission. That's the third. أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فعززنا بثالث. فقبضت أثر الرسول. And Jibril was not only a helper, was also a guardian for them to protect them from any harm or aggression coming to them. And we will also see that in another surah again, Surah Al-Qasas, back in the same surah, which we looked at before. This is in verse 25. These are Urdu numerals, I'm not very familiar. It says, ونجعل لكما سلطانا فلا يصلون إليكما بآياتنا أنتما ومن اتبعكما الغالبون. So the word sultan here, Allah said, will appoint a sultan for you, so that they cannot touch, they cannot harm you, you and Sayyidina Harun. That sultan is the angel that Allah has appointed to be with them, and in case anybody wants to harm them, to protect them as well. So those are the third the argument in support of the fact that the story in Ya-Sin is about Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam and Sayyidina Harun. Is that the number of the ayah correct in Qasas? The number is Urdu number, I'm not sure. If it is, probably it is, 35, I think. ونجعل لكما سلطانا فلا يصلون إليكما بآياتنا أنتما ومن اتبعكما الغالبون. Will appoint the sultan for you, and they will not reach you, and they will not get to you to harm you. Anybody find it?
Yes.
It's correct? 35. Barakallah. That is the, inshallah, third argument. So the fourth argument in support of the story being that of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam is verse 15 of Ya-Sin. قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون. They use the argument that you are only human beings like us. So why should we believe you? What makes you special? What makes you different? Of course, it's It's a recurrent argument that is used all the time whenever messengers or saints are raised by Allah among us. There are people who use the same argument. Why should he be the one who is selected by God? Why not me? That question only God answers that. Why he chose someone. And when the Islam came, and it so happened that only those who were poor and the slaves and people of low social status embraced Islam before the leaders of Mecca and Arabia. They said, if this Islam was something good, then we will be the one first to accept it. لو كان خيرا ما سبقونا إليه. If this Islam was khair, these slaves and backward people will not have it first before us. The argument. They think that how Allah chooses people. يخلق ما يشاء ويختار. Allah creates what He wants and chooses what He wants. So creation and selection is both up to Him. So this is called divine selection, not natural selection of Darwin. Divine selection. يخلق ما يشاء